Hey everyone, how's it going? Let's get some stuff here set up here. Get the comments there. And I got to release. Yeah, okay, there we go. I had a echo going on here. I had to kill it. So how's everyone doing this evening? Let's go through and see who all is here tonight, shall we? All right, we got Andrew Barker, Phelan Klein Wolf, the Evil Twin, Meg Barker, Mary at his Happy Inches Little Homestead, Evans Essentials, Lori Jean, Ontario Homestead, Michael 58, scrolling down here, Cecilia Jansen, Stringfield Ridge, Tibor. So I got everybody saying hi to each other. All right, so let me go and bring this back up over here. And bring that up on. Come on. There we go. Get that a little bit bigger there. All right, so tonight I'm missing a few people. Dave's feeling under the weather. And either everybody else is running late or they just totally forgot about me and ignored my email with a link in it. Hey, Gunslinger, how's it going? So tonight, I'm going to talk about knives. Now, the first thing when I was talking with a couple of people about this that came to everyone's mind was, oh, yeah, okay, our big bad, our K-bars, our survival knives, our this knives. That is not all the knives there are here. Learn to Survive. Hey, how's it going? There are a lot of other knives. In fact, before that, I had any dealings with all these knives, there was a different type of knife I used to deal with a whole lot when I was growing up. From the time I was growing up, I was dealing with these kitchen knives here. Ooh, all these nice fancy kitchen knives. And then the next from those kitchen knives, the knife I went to, hey Jay, how's it going? Was the standard folding buck knife up here. And so yeah, it's there's a lot, it wasn't, that was one I just carried, not as a survival, that was just a working utility knife I carried all the time. And I carried that, oh geez, into my mid-20s, late 20s. And besides that one, then my dad gave me one like his, the little 3-blade old timer about that long. That's the 3 little blades on it. I carried that a bunch. His Way Homestead, hey, how's it going? And Michael, I never did have a Swiss Army knife till, and some people may consider this where did I put it? Over here, a Swiss Army knife, and that's the multi-tool. That wasn't until years later. But the the main tool I grew up with, my mom was a chef. Hey, guess what I dealt with a lot? There, all right, His Way Homestead. Glad to hear that. Tornadoes missed you. That's always a good thing. But before I'm not sure where to start. I was hoping to have a couple of the people in here to let them, talk about their stuff first, their favorite knives. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I did a video a while back, 3 knife challenge. I talked about my 3 favorite knives, all right, my favorite knife. I used to do my everyday carry knife, my current everyday carry knife, which, hey, it's a utility blade. As one of my favorite role-playing games would call this death by 1,000 paper cuts. But a lot of the knives that I dealt with, and I got a bunch over here I want to share with you here, laying off to the side here. And so let me grab something here. But knives I used to carry a lot with my, that never even actually made it into my current everyday carry. Oh geez, before I got married, I got one of these Gerbers, this Blackie Collins Gerber. Really cool. Has a locks in there until you squeeze the handle, then it releases. I used to carry that a lot. In fact, I used it so much I damaged the tip, and I really need to put a new tip on it. But this, I've had this for close to 40 years. Put that one back over there. Along the same time, one I got for camping and stuff. I mean, being a young, stupid kid, I got it for camping. It's actually a fight knife. And that's the Gerber Mark II, the camouflage with the blacked out blade and the special, I forget what it's called, the coating on the handle. So it's really, it can get wet and slimy and you still hang on to it. So if I was going to get in a knife fight, a real knife fight, and I knew it, I'd want this one with me. But the one I carried the most when I was younger was this little boot knife. And what's so neat about it is, I mean, it was just, it'd clip on my belt, inside, outside, on my boot. And it was real easy to pop loose. Had a little snap on it. And this is the Explorer Night Raider. And I've had this, no, probably almost 45 years ago. I'm not sure. I got this when I was just out of high school. And the one reason I got it was because the end here screws off. And I took everything out of it. Yep, took everything out of it. I used to have some fishing line in there, some hooks, some matches and stuff. But when I put it in storage, I took all that stuff out and put it in, moved it around to other ones. But those were the quote survival knives that I used to carry. Let's talk about some of the other knives here that I grew up with. I pull these 3 here over here. These 3 here are all the same brand. It's called Tungsten. These were my mom's. This one here. Actually, let me go ahead and get rid of that little one so I can go get it here. So it shows this way. Okay. So this one here was one of my mom's that she used to use on the catering truck. The catering truck, my grandfather owned a rental equipment and catering company, and they catered and rented equipment to the motion picture studios. And so like when they go out to up in Tujunga Canyon to shoot some scenes, or they go to one of the big buildings and anything off studio lot, to go do any filming, he'd get the call and they'd set up there early in the morning and serve breakfast, lunch, and if they ran late, serve dinner. And so these ones here are all part. This is a bread knife, all tungsten brand that my mom used to have in her box. But those aren't the only ones she had in there. She had a whole assortment of ones. And she got some cheap ones just to abuse, because sometimes stuff, she's doing, she kept her good ones for some stuff. This is a, I can't hardly read it. Grammy's butcher knife. That's what this one is. And this one here is Dunlap stainless, another funky shaped one. And another funky shaped one here. And this is, I can hardly make it out here. Something or other than Son. Oh, Parker, F. Parker and Sons, made in England. So that's that one there. But then she had this other set she kept at home. That was Dion Lucas. You can see the brand name there. And so, these all have the same type style. So these are the ones that we used in the house all the time, for cutting stuff. This over here, out of the way. And then she had a couple other ones here that she had, that she used. This is a Robinson one here. Now we're getting to some a little bit better ones. This is a Connoisseur Dexter, made in the USA. Now this is the one. One of the ones she just chopped up, just to tear stuff up, with. She didn't mind if she got it dinged or anything. But a lot of the ones from the catering truck, when she'd bring them home, and stuff, at the end of the week, I spent most of Saturday or Sunday, sharpening them up for her. Then she has some Chicago cutlery ones here. A nice boning knife and a fillet knife. They're Chicago cutlery. But what's interesting is, for the with these, let me set some other ones off to the side. With the knives, you got to have something else to go with the knives. You got to have your forks. And she had several different, ones. This is another one of those tungsten ones here. She had some other ones and stuff. She used different size ones here she used to use. And she had a serving fork for the meat, a little bit wider, so you could pick up the cuts and set it in there. But her favorite fork was this massive, heavy-duty Chicago cutlery fork that she used a lot of time. When she actually had when she was serving the movie stars, after basically the crew would come through and get served first, and then she'd pull out the good stuff for when the stars and the directors and the executives would come through and stuff, and she'd use that with it. But the final two knives she had, she lost the case for this one, so it stayed wrapped up in this here. This thing looks like it's been abused and used, but this thing here, you can shave this bad boy. And she loved this old Chicago cutlery knife. Back in there. So that was one of the special ones. And then she had this one she got from Germany. Turn it around here. So this is the one she got from Germany. And this is the one that, was one of her pride and joys. I mean, this thing here is so sharp. It's like from the saying from the Kill Bill, that when Hanzo makes the bride the samurai sword, He goes, if you should come across God in your journey, he will be cut. Same thing with that knife. That is a very, very sharp knife. I only sharpened that thing twice, and I had to use a special Arkansas stone to sharpen it, and had to use the gauges at right angle. I mean, it was just one of those things you feared screwing it up on it. So now that I've gone through all this stuff, let's see. Stringfield Ridge says my grandpa carried an old borrow knife. Yeah. Hey, Lisa Lee. All right, Ontario Homestead. Thanks for stopping in. See you later. All right, Jay. Yes, the Ginsu knives. Oh, who does not remember the Ginsu knives from TV? I actually wound up getting a whole mess of them for free. The sets, I don't know who got them, but I wound up getting dropped off over a scout troop. I had about 15 sets of the Ginsu knives. So the scouts all got a bunch of Ginsu knives, for their mess kits. Yeah, you're sure right there, Gunslinger. I mean, knives are just so useful. I forgot, one of the other knives I carried as a young boy was my Boy Scout knife. It had the 3 blades on it, had the leather all on it, had the can opener and a little screwdriver on it, and then the regular blade. Hey, Mama Z. So let me go while I was talking. I know there's a lot. I saw some things, so let me stroll back up here. All right, Tibor, cool. That is so cool. Yeah, I got a couple Kershaws out there. I got a presentation Kershaw, black handled one out in my safe out in the shop. But yeah, I almost brought that one in tonight. Okay. Bird and trout knife. That reminds me, I got in my fishing vest, I got a couple of very nice fillet knives up in there. Now, the one knife I misplaced somewhere, it's in my belongings somewhere. I'm not sure it is. It was a knife that I got for when I started going deer hunting, and I'll show you. I found a picture of it. All knives are fight knives. Yeah. All right. Here you guys go. Here's a statistic for you. Oh, hey, Dave's there. Hey, Dave. Let me shrink it a little bit.
That doesn't scare everybody.
Yeah. Good to see you feeling a little bit better.
Not really, but I figured I'd at least make an appearance.
A little bit. Little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've had a pretty rough day. Charles got kicked out of school.
Ouch.
For punching a teacher. Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't have a knife.
No. He knows better.
That would have been really bad. Is it permanent kicked out or just a suspension or just
3 days.
1 day? 3 days?
Yeah, I was supposed to go get my hair cut today and get some groceries, and that kind of got stopped. So
yeah,
it's been a fun day.
Yeah. Okay, Jay says his loves his Gerber. I love Gerber knives too. I also love the old bucks. Like yeah, some of those old bucks are really, really good. Oh, you're kidding me. Knives are considered a hidden weapon in Canada?
Yep. And in Europe, you can't have anything that locks back or is a fixed blade. You have to have a knife that cannot be held. with a locking mechanism. Now they do
So-
have knives over there that you can twist a ring and lock it, and that's legal to carry.
Yeah. But it doesn't automatically lock when you open it up.
Correct.
So like the Boy Scout knife or the old timer 3-blade knife would be legal still.
Right.
But I take it these would be, a kitchen knife would be illegal if you're walking around the street with it.
Obviously, you don't remember some of the memes where they were asking people to give back their kitchen knives, and almost everybody in Britain started making memes about it. So hi, everybody, before I forget.
All right. So I was just reviewing. I went through all the knives that my mom had, all that when she was a chef, all the cool ones and stuff. Let's see what we got here. All right. So I got to make a note here to myself, because on my list of different of people I deal with, I got some are in.
I can do that too, Tibor.
In
sharpened knives. I've got a 1-inch belt sander, and I've got 7 different sanding grades on it, all the way up to 3,000. And then I do anything above 3,000 by hand.
Okay, so we have 2 Canadians in here that I know of. It's Cecilia and Lori.
She in here too? I didn't see her say hi.
She was back in the beginning.
And she probably went to bed. And
Okay.
Ontario's in here.
Oh, Ontario. So we got 3. All right. All right. So let's scroll on down here. All right. Oh, let me stop that banner. Okay, that banner's been going long enough. Hide the banner. And back to comments. Yeah. The old knives. Pull this up from Jay put up there. The old blades, I don't know what it was, but they seem to hold an edge a lot longer than some of these new steel blades you get these days. Unless, for some of the regular, I'm not going to name names on certain common knives, but yeah. But anyways, what I was going to show everybody was a knife I got, a special knife for when I was going hunting. And so I'm going to throw this back up here. All right, this knife right here in the middle by itself is made by Gerber. The handle on it is a weird neoprene foam something or other. You can get it all wet and slimy, and you can still grab it and won't slip out of your hand.
Hey, Blue.
And it's got the nice curve to it. Hey, Blue Healer, for being able to skin the deer, the cow, whatever it is you're butchering up. No, processing. Thanks, Tibor. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the ones I got. And when I had some money, I went and got my mom a one here. Oops. Bad boy. Let me see if I can bring this from the front. Shame on me. Bring the front. I'm going to make this one big again for a second. I got my mom this Gerber set, plus this is the Gerber Balance. Plus, I got her the extra paring knives and the 2 extra paring knives and 8 set of the
steak
knives. Here, bring the front. Bring the front. There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this the bread knife that Gerber made back then is almost as good as that one that Anthony did a review on. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that back full size. Now I do have also these three here. My Gerber BMF, and then I have the other two smaller ones that were part of the set. So let me go back over here. So yeah, as a kid, as a 20-year-old, as a teenager, and up 20s up until and even into my 30s, I was a knife fanatic. I love knives.
I always have.
Yeah. And it's like down on the bottom, and look on the bottom here below Dave, this one knife right here with a curved blade on it here. My dad had one that was a folding locking one, and we had several that were rigid that were for actually it's not showing. I'm just trying to draw. It's the one directly under the S and SOP down there. The brown handle has the curved blade on it there. That was a type of utility knife back in the day. It was also used for roofers for cutting the asphalt shingles. Mm-hmm. So that was a cool one.
I had one that was designed for that, but didn't quite look like that. Mine had a little bit fatter blade to it.
Yeah.
And when it fell off a roof and landed in a puddle of dog pee, it stayed there.
Oh.
I decided I didn't need that knife no more. I do have a few knives. Just a few.
Whoa. I'm just looking at Tibor's set here. Dang, it is. I got the sheath and I have the compass. It has had very, very little use of it. I carried it a couple times going camping, but like I said, 2-3 times took it out camping, and that was it. Wow.
I have a couple. I have this little itty bitty one that I use for skinning. It's a nice 2-inch blade, and it's razor sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the other use for the folding ones, was as a linoleum knife. Mm-hmm. I was having a brain fart there. I couldn't think.
And to match Tibor's $450 knife, I got this one that I had custom designed at Battle Horse Knives. So it's another company you can look up there, Kathy, if you want. Battle Horse. It is D2 steel, 5 millimeters thick, and it is also razor sharp.
Wow. I still can't get over all the knives I was buying, are now so collector's items. Yeah, that's about what I paid for mine back 30 some odd years ago before I got married. It was amazing what happened when I got married.
And of course, you've all seen my sword.
Yep.
But my best and cheapest knife is this little guy. It's an Elk Ridge bushcraft knife.
Yep.
I have beat the daylights out of this thing and took the black paint off of it because it looked nasty after I scratched it up a lot. But I've put this through hell and back, and it's still razor sharp. Of course,
hey, Grampy Campies, Bear Creek Homestead. Ontario Homestead is putting a forge this year. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, my son was wanting to put in a forge. He got all the stuff detailed out, all the pieces he was going to need, and then he got a full-time job and doing home restorations for water damage and stuff. And then he started buying all these craftsman tools.
Hey, Ontario, if you get that up and running, I will send you money and let you buy the steel and make something, and you can use it for a giveaway. And Jay, you are correct. Hence why I'd be single. I don't have to sneak nothing by nobody. You should have seen Gil last week carrying that package in the house, making sure there was no cameras watching him.
but my everyday carry being, utility knife. What I like about these ones from Harbor Freight. Now, before everybody goes, oh, the Harbor Freight knife. Okay, Harbor Freight. The knife is cheap, but it has a safety on it here. The button right here. You have to push it, and you can close it part way, so you can use it like a linoleum knife, or you push it all the way, and it locks closed, and you can't open it until you've pushed the button. But the other thing I like about it, turn around here so you can see it. See this little wheel here? If I roll it back, just like that, it comes out really easy. Unlike some of the other ones I've had, like the ones from Home Depot, the Husky ones, you got to push this in and fiddle with it and get your fingers that way so you don't cut your. Yeah, it's a pain. It's an operation. It takes a minute or two to get it out.
I've got one of those that's so old the locking mechanism no longer works. I have to be very careful when using it. I don't close it on my fingers.
Yeah.
My EDC knife is a charade that I like.
Ooh, yeah, that one's nice.
I like that style of tip. Unfortunately, I dropped it the other day and knocked the very tip of the tip off, so it's not so pretty anymore. It doesn't do a very good tip test.
Very important things by Ontario Homestead here. The best knife you have, sharpest knife is the best knife. The most dangerous knife you have is a dull knife.
Yep, because it'll hurt like heck. It rips. It doesn't cut.
Oh, yeah. When I was, okay, so I joined Scouts at 10 and a half. Well, when I came from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts at 10 and a half. And so I was in there not quite a year, and I'd gotten, when I joined Boy Scouts, I immediately earned my whittling chip and earned it, and my dad bought me a knife.
Hi, Mama Z.
And I used that knife so much that it got dull, and I just kept using it and stuff. And I was trying to cut a cardboard milk carton, half-gallon cardboard milk carton, if anybody remembers those. And
have you seen this child on the back?
That was I was used to be long before then, before they had pictures on them. And I was cutting the wrong way. Dummy. And as I was let me get here. As I was cutting, I was holding the milk carton, get here, in this hand, and I was cutting like this, and it slipped. I don't know if you can see if I can get it here. If you can see that little scar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it just tore right. It's not a straight scar. It's a jagged little scar there. And it just tore underneath the edge there. Just missed. There's a big vein that runs across there. Just missed the vein. I mean, it took the skin right off the top of the vein.
North Star, I remember those too, but I wasn't going to admit that publicly until somebody else did.
Oh, I used to love those old glass ones. We'd take them out, make sure we'd have them all ready for him, and he'd bring the new ones. And I love those old with a nice small right-sized lid for pouring out of and stuff. And
I honestly don't know, Tibor. I got it in a tack pack 2 years ago. The last tack pack I got, which I'd really like to start with those again, but okay. I want to add a caveat real quick. This is not pertinent to the discussion, but I do have a laser burner coming tomorrow, and I will have prototype things to show you guys tomorrow night to see if anybody's interested.
All right. So Tibor was asking, is that a Taylor brand Schrade or a BIT?
I don't know. I'd actually have to look it up. I can tell you the model number if you know what to. It is a SCH 221BK. That's all I know. I didn't look too hard into its genealogy. I just know I like to carry it. Cops around here don't like it too much because it's right at the 3-inch limit.
So you guys have a 3-inch limit for carrying knives?
Yep. In the state of Ohio, anything over 3 inches inside your pocket is considered a concealed weapon. And the CCWs here do not cover that. Here in Ohio, it's a concealed handgun permit, not concealed weapons permit. So you really got to pay attention to the laws of your state before you decide to strap on that knife in your pocket. Now, if it's sitting on the outside on your belt, that's different. It's not concealed.
So you got to have an outside nylon or leather case for it. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to maintain my composure over the
stupidity of the laws.
Yeah, of that law. Yes, I mean that's like the law that is still on the books in Los Angeles, California.
All right, Jay.
That says specifically that in the downtown area, automobiles are not allowed because they scare the horses.
Oh, every state's got some stupid law that's still on the books that they can actually issue tickets and court issues for it.
Yeah.
Every state's got something stupid.
Yeah. Now in some states,
now you've made it tactical.
Yeah, the certain, and this is where the definitions get really confusing because they change back and forth. A dagger or a dirk is illegal in California, but a boot knife is not because it's not long enough to be a dagger or dirk, depending on the week. Yeah. Different courts are ruling constantly on, and it changes it, and then it gets overturned, and it all goes back to the original. And yeah,
I just want permission to carry my sword with me everywhere I go, because then I guarantee nobody will want to talk to me.
Yeah,
and then I won't have to worry about that stupid coronavirus crap.
Yeah,
everybody will keep their distance of 6 feet, and I'll be safe.
Yeah. So this knife here, my Night Raider, double-sided blade.
That's illegal in the state of Michigan.
Is this one here is still legal in California, so long as you don't carry it concealed. It's if it's on your, but if it's not concealed, it's not considered concealed because it's a boot knife if it's carried on your boot under your pant leg, because it's a pain in the butt to get out. But if you carry it concealed on your thing, then it is. Now this knife, the Mark II, they tried to call this a dagger, but then someone said, "Oh, daggers are longer and dirks are longer and skinnier," and so yeah. And then the demons tried to change other rules around it as well, and they made they try to say a knife of a certain narrowness and length is considered a fighting knife. Well, here's a kitchen knife that happened to meet that standard.
Hey, Jay.
And they got tossed out.
Jay, you said cane knife? I got one. Don't tempt me with fun things. Yeah, as you can tell, I like my knives too.
Yeah. But like that, my Gerber
is considered concealed in Ohio. Yeah. Can't carry it out in public.
Yeah. It's also considered concealed in
just about every state.
Just about every state. And there's a federal statute you can't bring it to an airport.
Yeah, getting it mailed here was a pain in the arse. It had to be shipped ground.
Yeah. But having the right knife for the right job. I mean, let me put this up here big again here. And I'm going to take this one down here. Sorry, I got to get out of there and bring it so I can enlarge this.
Hey, Jay, don't make me walk upstairs and get my battle axe out, because it comes in little teeny pieces and I can put it inside a case You can't tell I have it until I decide to pull it out and use it.
Bring to front. Okay, that's this one here. You see all the different type knives here. You got your utility knife down here, your linoleum or roofing knife there.
Got you a Ranger knife.
Yeah, your you know, your military knife, and which represents multiple different types of military knives.
Because it's not true, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, you got a bread knife in here. You got a small butcher knife. Which is like this one over here on the side over here, which is actually really great for cutting the Tillamook cheese, the 5-pound bricks of Tillamook cheese.
No, I was giggling at what Heavens just said.
What Heavens just say?
She uses her machete to butter her toast. That I would pay $1 to watch that.
I want to see. Where did I do it? I did a click. Where is it? Where is it? Click on it here. I want to see a video on that.
I would pay $1 to watch that video. She could make a fortune if she charged $1 to watch it.
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
I'd get my machete out, but I've actually got it painted in white right at the moment, because as soon as it actually gets warm enough, I'm going to try hydro dipping myself and see how I turn it out. Probably won't look very good, but it's just for me anyway. Then I'll put a new edge back on it.
Yeah, my machete's out in the gun safe. Oh, too many grandkids around here.
Hey, Heavens, I love a piece of toast soaked in butter. I just don't think I'm classy enough to use a machete. I'm still a good old-fashioned butter knife dude.
That was one of Tibor's comments back in the beginning, about butter knives. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something cute. Hey, Wade, family farm.
Hey, Wade.
So yeah, I mean, I like this one here. Let me. This little chart here talks about the cleaver, the boning, the bread, the santuku, the utility, slicer, cheese. I've always had problems with these type cheese knives.
I can't stand the things like that. Cheese gets caught in the holes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like this one up over here on the left over here. This one up here. It cuts cheese a lot better. The bricks of cheese and the wheels, everything a lot better. This one right here.
I just don't see my kitchen knife in there.
Yeah. In this one here, I don't see the other one over here, which is this one right over here. This vegetable knife here. It's a serrated one, similar to the bread knife, but it's shorter, and it's the serrations aren't as big.
Right, and the blade itself is actually thicker. It doesn't bend.
Yeah. But yeah, and then there's, I mean, just look at all these different type of kitchen knives here in the middle too. Just, tons and different shapes, always coming up with new types of kitchen knives. And like I said, some of my mom's old Chicago cutlery stuff here. I mean, this is Chicago cutlery. This thing's older than me. This thing's older than my sister, who's 10 years older than me. Okay. So this knife is almost 80 years old. Chicago cutlery.
Hey, Heavens, I just came up with the title for your video. Machete versus butter. Will it work on the toast? Or something to that effect. Yeah, they're talking axes and machetes and kukris and battle axes.
Ain't gonna like my kitchen knife sock. Well, you can still like the video because it's telling me, showing some other ones, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, there were some other ones that my brother had got, my mom, and she gave handed them off to my daughter. They're really good. Can't remember that. They had plastic handles, but they were very strong plastic handles. I mean, you could beat on these things. and there was a serrated knife that was kind of like almost like the my skinny knife there in the middle there. It was, it was fat, and it was fat and went out, and then it had almost a completely round end on it. And I tell you, that thing was great for putting stuff on bread and stuff. It was like a spreader. It was like a spreader almost, but it was rounded. It was only about this long, and it was rounded. It was a little bit thicker than this. It had serrations on the bottom, and it was great.
Hey, Tibor, Chicago Cutlery does have some very expensive knives that are really nice. I don't have that set anymore. That was about 6 years ago. But you're right. Most of it is crap.
Yeah, let's see. Where'd it go? There we go. Yeah. All right, Jay. Yeah.
The question is, for those out there who are fairly knife smart, but not 100%, do you know what angle to sharpen your knife blades at for the use you're using them for?
That's the other thing. I was hoping Anthony was going to be here. He loves talking about that.
Because if you put the wrong angle on a blade, you've not only changed its purpose, but made it worthless to a degree.
Yeah.
Because your kitchen knives are usually 16 to 18 degree. Most of your woodsman knives are upwards of 23 to 25. And your chopping style, as in bushcraft knives, are between 28 and 32 degrees. My custom is a 32 degree blade. Therefore, it is excellent at chopping things, but it's sharp enough I can carve with it too.
Yeah. Now, some of my Gerber knives came saying with a thing to put 2 different angles on it.
Yeah, you really need somebody that knows what they're doing with that stuff.
Yeah, you put the one angle, and then the final angle is a little bit more, so you get sort of that look.
Shape,
Yeah,
a beveled V.
Yeah. Now, your samurai swords are really weird and really hard to sharpen because they're not angled; they're rounded.
And there's a reason for it.
It cuts so much better when it slices through, and it forces everything away from the blade. And that's why they're able to cut through the big old thing of a rope about 4 inches round hanging.
Tatsami mats.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get rust spots on a knife.
Best thing to do, in my opinion, if you have a knife that rusts, is go ahead and put a patina on it. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do that because it's a process, but
look it up. Google it.
Such does one. I can't remember if it was on his prepping channel or his regular channel, but check out Such's playlist on one of them. Search in YouTube for patina and look at the one Such does, because he goes into very good detail on how to do it. And it doesn't hurt your blade at all. It will actually coat it and help it and keep it from rusting anymore.
And Tibor saying, basically the carbon blades will rust, the stainless won't. So if it's a good carbon blade like this one, you look at this one here, this one here, you can see some of the faint rust spots in there and stuff, but it's it's got olive oil on it a little bit.
That's got a patina already on it, so it's protected.
Yeah.
I use something entirely different. Y'all think I'm a kook, but I use something from RC racing that I used to do, and it's called Mooslick. And I use it on my knives that I use for outdoors, or axes or hatchets, whatever. What it does is it's a thin water repellent layer. It won't let it rust. I can go out and use it. Nothing will stick to it. It just takes a rag to wipe it all back off, and then I just recoat it again.
Ontario, my daughter would disagree. She was captain of her fencing team. And she also happens to have some samurai swords. Either she has a katana and I always butcher the pronunciation of it.
Wasabi.
The Wawasaki.
Wasabi.
Wasabi.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm butchering it
Yeah.
right now myself. I know what it is, but
Yeah.
yes,
The long one, the long and short one.
Yep.
And my youngest son has 3 katanas.
Yes, Such 00.
And he is scary when he uses them because he has them going all around, going around, and he'll put 2 in one hand, blades going a different way, and he'll be doing the, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, if you want to learn about samurai swords, there is 2 or 3 really great channels, and they're Japanese channels. If you want to learn about samurai swords, the katana, and its 2 little brothers.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Go watch the ones here on YouTube. Look for the ones that are from Japan, because that's where the sword was originated, and you'll get some fascinating knowledge, especially of the history behind the sword and its proper usage, the proper way to carry it. Because most people think you're supposed to carry it, excuse me, with the blade down like this, but that's wrong. It's supposed to be carried like this. So as it's pulled up, it comes out and away from the body. Instead of trying to pull it like this, then you got to twist it in the air to do anything with it. And I have a sash that I can actually carry mine with. I just don't dare do it here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wakasashi, that's it. Wakasashi blade. Hey, Brass. Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Do you know the proper hand signal for it? When you do it, it's like this. Yeah, I've studied a fair bit of Japanese history. Hey, Timo.
Hey, Brastard. Hey, yeah. If you looked at my video called out for the 3-knife challenge, my 3rd most unusual knife is a katana that was an officer's sword from World War II that my grand uncle, who was over in China touring at the time, collecting stuff, was one of the civilian prisoners held in a prisoner of war camp in China by the Japanese. And when the camp got overrun, he chased the commandant into the woods or forest, whatever it was there, and he came back with a sword, and the commandant didn't. And so that's the sword that's in my video, my 3-knife challenge video. And there is a ding in it.
Someday when I get rich and infamous, because I ain't never going to be famous, I will have a true katana set. Daddy, mama, and little baby.
Yeah. So everyone out there, I want 2 answers to this.
Oh God, now I got to think.
Yeah, everyone's got to think on this one. I'm looking for your favorite kitchen knife and your favorite other knife.
You guys think I'm going to go get me some coffee real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah. So everyone think about that. What is your favorite kitchen knife and your favorite other knife? Okay, John Boone Beans, a buck he has. Wade family, his SOG axe. Kathy says shun. Anybody's kitchen, Jay. Heaven Essentials, a butcher knife and throwing stars. Oh, I love it. Best answer yet.
Blue Heeler, 4-inch fillet knife, an old buck hunter. That's kind of cool too. So like a fillet knife like this is more than 4 inches. This is I'd say 5.5, maybe 6-inch. Actually, I'll tell you right now. Hang on. Grab my blade here, my tape measure here. It is a 5-inch. 5-inch. So there's a 5-inch fillet knife. This other one here is a 6-inch. Cecilia, her sword and her never needs sharpening knife. Got 15 years ago. Cool. All right, crappy pocket knife, my extended knife. I don't have a good kitchen knife, so it doesn't deserve credit. And we got no sawzall does not count as a kitchen knife, but it does count as any other type of knife because you can cut up a beef with it.
Titan wanted to say hello, everybody. She's no longer mewing at the moon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, Kathy. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm learning something new here. Shun. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have my kitchen knife.
There we go.
But see, I made it so if I have to bug out, I can carry it with me. I made my own sheath for it. That is at a 12-degree angle, and I have to go over it because I was cutting some chicken up and nicked the bone or twice. It shaves a bone really nicely. Unfortunately, that's not very nice to your blade.
I would have to say right now, because as I age, my favorite things change. But my favorite kitchen knife is this one right here, second one from the right there. That Gerber one, that short chopping one there is just I love the heck out of that thing. And so yeah, that one. And then my other current favorite other knife other than kitchen knife. Hey, Harbor Freight. This thing's easy to change. I mean, I got, you buy a stack of blades for it. You get a bad, if the blade starts to go bad, you pull it out, you turn it around, you put it in. Of course, I already did that, so I better put it back with a good blade out. Point out. And you see, it's simple. It's easy to change. It locks shut, so I don't have to worry about the grandkids pulling it out.
The Shinzu blade made of ceramic, I am not a fan of. Now, if you go back 45, 50 years to some of the original sword makers and get some of the shorter knives that they used in their kitchen, those I like. Because you could sneeze on those and you'll cut the sneeze in half, as well as every fiber in your nose, hair, and everything else that went with it. They are super sharp.
All right, there we go. Chainsaw running on vegetable oil does great work on moose. Poor Bullwinkle.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, I'm going to say something about Battle Horse knives.
There we go. Tafal is another good kitchen knife.
I'm not a fan of most of them used to use a carbide blade on the inside. Some of the newer ones are using ceramic, which is better. But back to what I was going to say about Battle Horse knives. If you want a custom knife done, Battle Horse Knives can do custom knives. You can draw out exactly what you want. They will do it. And they usually do a really good job on your first piece. They'll give you a nice discount on it. Mine's to have them make mine for you to order it, considering it's it'd be a copy of my knife, would run you $350 to $400 depending on your steel. I didn't pay anywhere near that much, of course, but yeah, I don't care for ceramic knives. They may cut the skin off a tomato faster than anything else I have, but by George, if I'm trying to clean it and I drop it inside the sink, it's probably going to shatter.
Yeah. Yeah, ceramic knives you got to be very careful with. It's almost like you use it as like a vegetable knife, and as soon as you use it, you rinse it off and you put it back in its holder.
Yeah, you have to think of it like it's a piece of glass,
Mm-hmm.
because basically that's what ceramic is glass.
Hey, Brett and Cindy's Tennessee living.
Hey, Brett, Cindy, whichever one it is, or both, because we can't tell.
Yeah. And so, speaking of knives here, the winner of my giveaway got the Gerber Mark I knife with the zebra wood handle. Was Meg Barker.
And Wade, I will not use a dull knife. I won't stick with a dull knife no matter what. I'd rather have a knife cut me nice and cleanly and to have it heal faster than have a dull knife cut me, hurt like the dickens, and take 6 months to heal.
Yeah.
And even then you get a nasty scar from it. All right, Kathy, thank you very much. Have a good night. Be safe.
All right. Yeah, thanks for throwing all those links up there. Guys, all those links Kathy threw up on those great knives and stuff. If you've seen a brand you haven't heard of before, check it out. There are some really nice companies out there. Kershaw, I don't know if she threw up Kershaw or not, but to me, Kershaw, Pete Kershaw used to work for Gerber, and then he went out on his own. So to me, it's kind of like traitor. Sorry, but yeah.
Hey, there he is. Hey, Palmetto.
Anthony. Yeah. Now Anthony introduced me to a very, very nice knife, and I am going to see if I can bring it up here. Let me go over here and take that down and bring this up and bring up my Amazon because I put it in my wish list. Well, everybody's saying hi to Anthony. Mm-hmm. Wait for my come open. Come on, open up. There we go.
My cat's going to come running down these stairs one of these days and go slipping and busting its leg. It comes down that stairs at about 650 miles an hour. All you can hear is and she's down.
Oh, my middle grandson.
All right, Howie, have a good night.
Used to go. Hey, Howie. Yep. Come on. Is it there? Nope, it's not in that folder. Dang it, what'd I do with it?
Somebody bought it for you as a present. You don't have it in there no more.
No, mine's saying I got mine saying someone gets spotted. It stays there, it doesn't go away. Okay, where did I put it? Dang it. Wait, did I put it in the default list? That's not in the default. No. Dang, it was that, shoot, what did I do with it? Oh, I feel embarrassed there.
Yeah. Well, if you're feeling embarrassed, please don't stand up. Couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Did I put it in my wife's one? No. Yes, I have a wish list. I have stuff I want to get my wife.
AJ, you're more fortunate than I am. Because the very first boss I had, if he'd have done that, I would have found myself being picked up out of the nearest ditch.
What happened to that knife? I can't find it. Dang it. Anthony, can you type in the name of that knife, that bread knife you have? I can't find the list I put it on.
It could also no longer be available. Of course, you
No,
should get a notification saying it's no longer available, but
because
that's what I got today. I went to go get something out of my cart, and it's like, it's no longer available. But here's another item that's $6 cheaper than what you were looking at. Really? I'll take one of those on.
shoot. Wait, did I put under base salt?
Welcome back. Happy Inches.
That would be Mary.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember names very good, so forgive me.
Yeah.
Because if you're not on Discord and I don't
There it is. Okay, yeah, I put it there. All right. Let me bring this one here up here.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Zorro would use.
Which one? What? Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as he says it, I find it. Yeah, it's like, okay, so I'm going to put this up over here.
Slice you up with.
So let me grab this.
He's already put a link into it for his video.
He already put the link.
Oh, for his video.
Here's the knife on Amazon, and
Hi, Ms. Mel.
20. So this is a really nice bread knife. Yes, it's made in Japan, and they proudly put the Japanese symbols and everything on it. But yeah, it's $20 right now.
You know what company I would like to see them make a bread knife?
Who?
Silky.
Who?
Silky.
Silky?
Yeah, the ones that make them giant saws.
I'd
like to see them make a bread knife. I guarantee that thing would shave frog hair.
Okay, so when I added it to my wish list, it was $22. It has dropped 9%. It is now $20 for the knife. So that bread knife is now $20.
Look, I can't order no more knives. If I get one more knife, the FBI is going to come and raid my house and say I'm dangerous to public safety or some crazy crap. I've got way too many as it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, check out Anthony's video on it there. You put the link to it in there. It is, yeah. When he cuts homemade bread and it doesn't drop crumbs all over the place, that is a good knife.
Or when you don't smash it to pieces trying to get it cut.
Exactly.
You know it's hard to cut? Hot, fresh bread. Cold bread's easy to cut because it's nice and crusty. But that fresh loaf, fresh out of the oven, and it smells so good, and you want to dump a pound of butter on the top piece and just let it kind of drool into your mouth that way.
Yeah.
And see, when you make your own bread, you want something that cuts like that.
Yep. And then you take was it Heaven Essentials that was buttering her bread with the machete?
Mm-hmm.
And then you take your machete to butter the bread.
We didn't do nothing yet, Miss Mel. Yet.
Yeah.
Keyword.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody up here holding a nice hot, fresh loaf of bread, Anthony.
Yeah. So Anthony, besides that bread knife, what is your other favorite kitchen knife?
I used to have Essentials, but I don't. Not anymore. Unfortunately, the stove in my apartment is probably 15 years old, and the burners now, 2 of them overheat completely. I've actually ruined 2 frying pans, put them on medium heat, and I'll walk away, go back in there a minute or 2 later, and they're at full blast. And the food's ruined, and the pans are ruined.
Yeah. His chef's knife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A buck number 184. Let's see what a buck 184 looks like.
$1.84. It's pretty common.
Okay, I thought that was familiar. That was the other knife in my 3-knife video. Yeah. Bad boy there.
Yeah, it'll cut your bread, it'll cut your steak, and in a real bad situation, it'll be a grappling hook to get you out of danger.
And if you have to, you can cut the doorway bigger with the saw on the back of it.
Mm-hmm. General purpose knife. Good at a lot of things, excels at none of them. Except looking terrifying. Don't let them people in California see you carrying one. You will have a tactical knife that must be banned immediately. Thank you, Mr. Bloomberg, and all your stupid money.
It's only $9.99. You act now, we will double your order. Just pay the shipping of $184.
All right, Brent, Cindy, have a good night.
All right. Night, guys.
Yeah, well, it normally is getting close to my bedtime, but seeing as how he ain't got school tomorrow, I can stay up all night. Yay! Oh, wait, no, I can't. I still have to act like Dad.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I think we've pretty much covered. Oh, what was it? Dead fish go. Okay, hang on a second. Let me go to the other. Wait for that to catch up here. Come on.
A Santuco knife? Cool.
Sometimes the chat, when I go not on the page, I'm on my other one. There it goes. That's I know that's his video. That's come on, let's go. It's taking forever for it to catch up to Anthony's thing there.
Posted the link.
Yeah. When I'm not on there, the chat sometimes takes forever to catch up. Okay, there it is. There it is. Open a new tab. Let's take a look at that knife.
Heavens, he got kicked out of school for punching a teacher. They know he has issues. They know it's a trigger for them to try and pull on him to get him to stop doing, and he lashed out.
The teacher pulled on him?
Yes, because he was trying to run after he was told to stand still and not run. And he tried to run off anyway, which he was disobeying what he was told by an adult.
Yeah.
And instead of listening, he lashed out. He doesn't dare swing at me.
Okay, so there's the knife that Anthony put the link in there for. That looks sweet.
Mm-hmm. Multiple metals folded.
Yes, I mean that is some. I'm trying to count the layers there, and it's folded about multiple ways.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 7 different layers. If you want to see somebody make some beautiful steel, go check out Alex Steel here on YouTube. He actually goes through the process of making the multiple steel knives like that. I Can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head for some reason. That's his most used knife. I would use that a lot too.
Okay, hang on here. I gotta ask this. So Heaven's Essential. So with the knuckles and spikes on, is that what you use? It you just punch the meat to tenderize it?
Mm-hmm. Damascus steel. That's it. Damascus steel.
Yeah.
If you want to see some good work on Damascus steel, go check out Alex Steel.
Cuts. He says it cuts through the meat like it's not even there. And Heaven's Essentials is sticking up for Charles.
Yeah, I agree. And I already have issues with the school. You know, back when I was a wee lad, and some of you were also wee little ones as well, if we'd acted like that in school, we'd have met the paddle in the principal's office and been in detention for 2 or 3 days, not sent home because you were afraid to deal with it. Teachers had, excuse the vernacular, balls back then. Nowadays, they're a bunch of lily-whipped sissies.
Snowflakes.
I have to be polite. Don't want to be.
Okay. Oh, cool. Anthony has a good wife. She got him that knife.
It's a keeper.
Oh, yeah. So.
No, Jay, I think you're correct. I don't think I'd want to visit that kitchen either if she's in a foul mood. Hey, full armor. God bless. Yeah,
Hey.
if she's in a good mood, I think visiting her kitchen sounds like fun. If she's in a foul mood, I don't think I want to.
Well, hey, that's just like Mouse Toes too.
No, you don't walk into Mouse Toes' kitchen unless you're invited. Trust me, I already tried that once via chat, and she said she'd pop a cap in my butt. And then it took her 3 days to talk to me again. Because I said, I'm going to sneak into your kitchen and steal a can of that awesome split pea soup. 3 days later, before she talked to me again, she was not happy with me. No, you don't mess with Mouse Toes soup.
So Mary bought herself a knife from Jerry's Wood Shop and Outdoors. Cool.
Well, Gordon Ramsay'd be afraid to go into her name just because of her YouTube name, or her kitchen because of her YouTube name. But we'll leave that discussion for another day.
Yeah. Okay. I think we pretty much covered this tonight, unless somebody has something else they want to talk about.
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Actually, bring a knife to a gunfight.
If you know how to use it.
After everybody's run out of bullets, you pull out the knife.
Actually, most people don't know what the 21-foot rule is.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know what the 21-foot rule is, if you are a person with a gun and the other person has a knife and they're within 21 feet of you, they can cover that distance faster than most people can pull a pistol out of their holster and fire it properly and hit the target.
Yeah,
99% of people will miss the target, and you will get to eat that knife.
Now, if you're one of these ones that do this little competition called speed draw competition, you can be 5 feet away and you're not going to have a chance to take half a step. Those guys are friggin' fast. Okay, where's
good place to get knife blades for? What do you mean? As far as to make your own, I would buy blanks off of eBay. They're relatively cheap. Even D2 steel is respectably priced, and you can get it in whatever size you want, in 12-inch, 6-inch. I actually considered doing knives a while back, but then I was told I can't have a foundry of any kind here, so making them is kind of useless.
Are you allowed to have a barbecue?
Technically, not outside.
Oh.
They don't usually say much, but you can't use it next to the building due to fire risks.
Right.
They haven't said nothing to nobody yet. There's people that have them, but they also do it 15 feet away from the house.
I'm sorry, Anthony. That just hit my funny bone just right.
And Anthony, you don't want to do this one, do you? Is it's D2 steel 5 mil, and it's heavy as hell. What can I do, Heavens? Not a whole heck of a lot.
Okay.
Look what Jay just put.
Jay, about the a second. Lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh. Squirrel to a knife.
Hey, here in Ohio, we actually have rabid raccoons. That would work.
All right. Jay, you made me think of an animated movie called Over the Hedge. And the little squirrel, whatever his name is, Hammy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always beating me, running around fast. And in the end, near the end of the movie, they give him a Red Bull or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he starts gets so hyped up, the world stops. And he's walking across the yard, and these lasers are going, trying to get the animals. He's looking at the lasers, and he's walking by the lasers. I'm sorry, you just made me think of that movie. I love that movie.
Miss Mel, are you referring to the knife that I showed? I got to be careful. It's sharp. This is a custom knife made.
Let me make you big.
Oh, God, don't scare people. This is a custom designed knife. I made it, or I designed it and had Battle Horse Knives make it. And it is 5 mil thick, D2 steel, full tang, flat pommel for crushing things. This edge right here is rounded for comfort. So if I have to choke up on it like this to do something, or like this, it's rounded for comfort. But this up here is at a full 90. Oops, up here is a full 90 for ferro rods or taking and grinding on sticks. And it's very heavy. I have a video on my playlist about it. And I've already put it through hell. Because a knife you don't use is not a very good knife, in my opinion. Yeah. And it stays within reach, as do half my knives.
Hold it. Seriously, there was a drug dealer back east. Cops raided his place. He had a pet squirrel on meth for his security. And he says diamond stone for cleaning up the angle, ceramic for sharpening, leather strop will get it sharp.
Mm-hmm.
After what, 2 hours?
For D2 steel, no, I can dull that blade and have it resharpened in less than an hour.
Okay.
But I know I've got a 1-inch belt sander. It makes the process a little bit faster. But you have to be very delicate when you do it. You have a pan or a pot of water sitting there. And every pass you make, you dip it. You keep that steel cold as heck. Yeah. Don't let it get hot.
You just reminded me of something I totally forgot about. That was that's about 30 years ago when I got married. One of the mechanics at the construction company I was working at, modified a junk piece of a belt sander thing they hadn't used it. He fixed it up, modified it, and he put an oiler on it.
I wouldn't personally do that. I mean, it can be done, and if you're doing an awful lot of steel that way, yeah, I guess it'd be.
And he was basically they had somebody there in the shop on Saturdays. They had a rotation because they called it the dead zone, because practically nothing was going on Saturday, but except when it did, then all hell broke loose. But he was in there making knives on the ground. On that, he made a little thing, and he made all the foremen some knives and stuff. out of scrap steel.
Well, there is a couple YouTube videos out there that show you how to make angle blocks for sanders. And unfortunately, I can't make them here because I don't have the materials or the shop to build these things. Otherwise, I'd actually go into a side job of sharpening knives for people. Right now, I'll just only sharpen my own. Because that way, if I slip trying to do it by hand and scuff part of the rest of the blade, I don't care. But to do somebody else's blade and then wind up scuffing the edge of the bevel or something, they would not be very happy. So I just do my own.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we got that there. And I want to look at one other thing here. Hit the refresh on this other page here, which just to get some parting information here in a minute. As soon as it refreshes. Takes me less than 5 minutes to sharpen once a week.
Yeah, for S30V steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's softer and it sharpens easier than D2 steel, which is harder. But the problem with D2 steel, even though it's harder, it's more fragile. It's more prone to cracking.
Okay.
Use it on wood. I haven't had an issue with it yet.
All right. Our numbers are going up not exponentially, at a highly increased rate.
Uh-oh. What'd you do now?
No. Too much. Back it off just low. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. So I'm going to go into the uncomfort zone here.
Oh, yeah. I warned you guys. It's not the flu.
Yeah.
It's not. It is exponentially worse.
Yeah. All right. So Santa Clara County has picked up a couple more. They're now a big dot.
Washington State's a nightmare.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go up there in a second here. Hey, they're both Democrat states, aren't they?
Uh-huh. If anybody remembers one of my videos with church chat, biblical chat, I told you guys we were given a reprieve from punishment, from judgment, and this country didn't change.
Okay, so right now, they got 1 recovered and 10 still sick there in Santa Clara. We go up here to Washington, and this is where it gets ugly. In King County,
I understand that totally.
They have 1 recovered, 12 existing, 8 dead. Oh, Mama Z's. Yeah, we went down to the Costco in Pocatello today. They were out of toilet paper. However, they had pallet upon pallet upon pallet upon pallet of Bounty paper towels.
Hey, in a pinch, use what you got.
Yeah, and those are the ones that tear off in the little strips,
Mm-hmm.
So you tear that off, fold it in half lengthwise, and then you cut it, and you have your Anyways, but yeah. All right. Let me tell you, I just want to just show what's going on. I'm not going to say anything other than this. All right, so they got 8 on the one, and then in Snohomish County, they have another death. And
I'm just going to make a simple statement.
Yeah.
Forget what your government's telling you. Your government's lying to you. I'll say it straight up. And if Gil gets a hit, I'll figure out some way to make it up to him. But government's lying to you. Everybody's been lying to you because nobody's been given the proper information to make proper choices. Peak Prosperity has been warning people for the last 3 weeks. I'll give him that. But even he doesn't have all the information.
Yeah.
Gil sent me a link. Wow, words. 2 days ago or 3 days ago. What was it? Friday? And I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but until yesterday or today. But yeah, it's a manufactured disease that started somewhere, and it was manufactured into what it is. And I didn't have proof of it, and he found the proof. But it's not just, I'm going to tell you something. They're saying masks are not helpful. I would wear one because it is airborne. But if you're going to wear a mask, make sure it's sealed on the sides, because the average surgical mask is not sealed over here on these edges. And if you plan on wearing a mask, shave if you're a shaving type person.
I made a killing yesterday at Home Depot. They started stocking new
Hey,
a 40 pack of NIOSH N95, a 40 pack, okay, for $35.
Damn.
There were 3 of them there. I grabbed one, okay, and because my wife had just yelled at me about how much I was spending, so I only grabbed 1 box instead of all 3.
Yeah, Jay, you can tape the sides down. That'll work.
This morning, and this is on a bottom shelf. I pushed them all to the back. They were gone this morning when I went back to Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
When we went down to that was in Idaho Falls. When we went down to Pocatello an hour or 2 later. We checked theirs. They were out. I checked online. They don't know when they're going to get this back in at Home Depot.
Yeah, if you don't have your PPE now, you're pretty much SOL.
Yeah. However, on the upside, Nurse Amy put out a video yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday on Doc Bones Nurse Amy YouTube channel on the see if I can find it here real quick for you. It was a real good video on how to make your own, not approved by the NIOSH, not approved by the American Medical Association, but how to, better than getting a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Masks, how to make some of them. So hang on a second here. Bones, Nurse Amy. Okay, all right.
But don't let the media and everybody else tell you it's harmless. It's anything but.
Yeah, not the way those numbers are going up exponentially here. Okay, here we go. So their latest one, here it is. So this is the latest video. I'm gonna put the link down there right now. Control C and Control V. There we go. This is making surgical masks, and she talks about it, how to do it, and she covers it up. Covers it really good. It was a really good, informative, step-by-step process. So she goes over that. So there's the link for it. And I'm just going to head. I'm not going to watch it all, so I'm just going to stop that for a second. And I got to update something here. 9 deaths, 8, huh?
Mama Z is going to make a video this week.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, a couple of people, like Reed and a couple others that mentioned to me that said, I ought to go ahead and do one showing what I have preparedness wise. So I got my stuff here to do. I'm going to try to do one tomorrow morning, but let me go 120.
Just remember, don't show everything.
Oh, no. I'm just going to show like the bleach, the food, those masks, some of the other stuff, and why I got some of this other stuff up there, which you may find interesting about why.
Sure,
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. Paper plates. Why I have paper plates? I'll explain that in the video.
Yeah, sure. You just got to one-up me, don't you? You just got to one-up me. Make your video better than mine. I see how you is.
And okay, let me see if I can find this other thing here real quick here. Where was it? Down here. Okay, here we go. I got updates. So 9 and 8.
And Tibor, a double bandana will not give you enough protection.
All right. So, I made this up like a little comparison thing up here. Got SARS, MERS, swine flu, H1N1, bird flu, and see. So I got to change this right here. Make that 9 because it's now 9 deaths.
Okay, and mind you guys, listen to this and listen carefully. It's something Peak Prosperity's been saying for 3 weeks. I mentioned it in the very first video I did, but I kind of retracted it partially.
Okay.
Look at the number of cases versus the number of deaths and the number of days
I got to
we've
change
been
this
discussing it.
formula.
Washington State had their first case, what, 3 weeks ago?
Less.
Okay, just kind of guessing. You know, when you're sick, you kind of lose track of time. But let's just use 2 weeks. I'll give it 14 days. The average incubation time is 14 days, with the high outside of 24
Did I
days
do that right?
and the lowest of 1 day incubation period. Okay. They're only putting people in quarantine for 14 days. They have
Okay.
false positives and false negatives with the current testing criteria, because we're still only doing tests. We're not doing MRIs of the lungs yet here in the States. Italy did. They followed China on that, and look how fast Italy tried to get a handle on it, which they're still exploded. It virtually doubled almost every single day for the first week. And our cases are starting to start doubling. Whether you want to believe me or not, whether you think it's just the flu, all I can say is, it's in your own hands. Have hand sanitizer, lots of it. Wash your hands profusely. That's all I can say. But I'm going to give you a warning right now. This could turn into biblical proportions very, very quickly.
Let me get my things in order here. See if this works. No, got it backwards. Got it backwards again, I think. Got to get the right formula so it'll go right. Yeah, okay. So right now,
our CFR rate is higher.
Yeah, but this is not CFR rate. This is the mortality rate.
Yeah, case fatality.
Yeah, this is the fatality rate. And so we're at 52%. Basically what you do, you can't count the numbers of actual cases. You have to take the numbers of recorded and the numbers of death, add it, and then divide it. So you add it to get to 17, and then you divide the deaths by the 17. That gives you your divide the death number by this total. So that gives you what your mortality rate is.
Jay, I'm not going to answer that one because there is still 2 issues that haven't been covered yet over in China, and therefore I'm not going to let a cat out of the bag until I have proof.
Yeah.
Video, like I say, Gil sent me a link. Gosh.
Yeah.
I get a leak somewhere. I'm just not sure where it is. Apparently, maybe I'm linking information. I seen that back at the beginning of February.
Yeah.
But I didn't have proof, and the proof is that it's possible that a person in the lab was selling lab animals for profit. This guy has made over 1 million yen doing it.
And he's in jail now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, my theory is that it was not an on purpose from the government side. It was an on purpose stupidity by some of the scientists trying to make an extra buck on the side, selling what they got done with the animals. Oh, we'll just sell it to the live market. That's my personal theory, and I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same thought pattern, but not 100% sold on it yet.
Yeah. So
now, my biggest concern, and it has only been addressed by one other physician in another country, that the fact that it is mutating or traveling so fast is the fact that it did mutate a second time, because the strain that hit Italy is slightly different. And like I say, I've only got this from one doctor so far, so it's not 100% verified. But the strain that hit Italy is different slightly than the strain that affected China, which is why it exploded so fast. And the people that are coming over here from Italy, from that region, very highly contagious if they have it. It is airborne. All you have to do is breathe.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Holy crap.
What?
Italy.
Mm-hmm.
2,500 confirmed cases.
That's in 2 weeks, folks. 2 weeks. Look at the number of deaths in 2 weeks.
79.
And if you look at that little bar graph down there at the bottom, that is the biggest pile of horse poop I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I'm going to do something here. Let me put this over
Hey,
here.
Jake.
So I put these numbers in here. So I'm going to put the Italy numbers in here, 79. And recovered is 160. In 2 weeks, I don't trust that recovered number. They're not recovered. They may be semi-recovered.
Well, that's another thing too, is that they've already proven in Italy and Japan said something about it, as well as France and Belgium and all them other places in the EU. They're finding that some people who are recovered are still carrying the virus.
Oh, yeah.
Be at a lower rate, a lower, infectious rate. The microorganisms are not as prolific in the system, but they still carry it. Therefore, they're semi-contagious still. That is a huge issue because, we put people at 14 for 14 days because that's the standard. You're possibly letting contagious people out. Like I said in my very first video, they need to be keeping people 23 to 24 days. And it's draconian measures, of course, but when you're looking at something that could affect literally millions of people before it starts to die out,
Yeah. All right. Here's something really, okay. So I highlighted the numbers for Italy in orange. So they had 79 deaths, 160 recovered for a total of 239 resolutions. So it resolved one way or the other. And that gives them a death rate of 33% in Italy of those that have it so far. Now these numbers could go down as more people, are being, treated properly quicker. And, same thing here in the US. The numbers could go down as more people are recovering and treated. Now, the scary part for me.
Good night, Miss Mel.
My wife is in Contra Costa County. The 2 people that confirmed cases they have have never shown symptoms ever, but they were next to someone who did show symptoms and associated with them. So they tested them. They came up positive and they have not shown symptoms yet, but they are contagious and they got them in quarantine fortunately.
If you guys go back to the video that the first live stream I had with Doc Bones and Nurse Amy on it, we talked about the difference between an epidemic and a pandemic being societal, local areas having person-to-person transfer, which at the very beginning, nobody thought that was going to happen. Everybody, I said differently, but because I was the first one to publicly speak out, it's airborne. After watching a video, they got pulled off the internet faster than you could say, where'd it go? But it's transmitting much easier than what the media is telling you. And another thing is, and T-Bar brought it up, something that they're not talking a lot about, is the fact that it is causing organ damage. People who are being put on, and Gil sent me a video today on it. That was today, wasn't it? Or was it yesterday?
The one today was
the doctor.
The doctor, yes.
Yeah, he sent me a video, and he probably, if he can find the link for it.
Yeah, I can find it real quick here.
You guys need to watch it because he goes into a lot of detail that's being kept away from public.
And actually, Gunslinger sent it to me today.
Right.
So I think I saved it over here like I should have.
And yeah, 80 countries is a pandemic. It is. I don't care what WHO says or CDC says. They're trying to play political chess. And, oh my gosh, we're going to kill the market. The market's already crashing. The market was going to crash whether this happened or not anyway. If you guys don't watch your stock market and the bubble it's been under, this bubble was going to burst along pretty soon anyway. So whether this pandemic hit or something else was going to collapse the bubble.
All right, give me a second here.
Limit.
I'm going to put this up over here and come back to the link to the.
When countries start manufacturing money to prop up an economy, China's doing it. Our Feds just slashed their rates. It's an attempt to flood the market with money. And it doesn't work.
All right, here's the video. I put the link up there, guys. This guy is very calm, very collective. He's a doctor. He's explaining points as he goes through.
And he's a doctor in Toronto where the first Canadian cases were found. So I would hazard to say he's probably pretty knowledgeable what's going on. And he apparently doesn't care what the government says, which is good.
Yeah. He's putting the truth out there. I mean, he's explaining things and saying, hey. So anyway, so there's the virus, the link on it. Gunslinger Outdoors is the one that sent it to me today. And so I'm sharing it.
Yeah, I would recommend before somebody catches wind of it and it gets yanked, go watch it quick.
And in fact, what I'm going to do here.
I haven't really wanted to look at my computer. I would have saved it myself.
Bringing something up here. Hang on a second here.
So
paste. You guys get to see, I'm actually downloading the video to my hard drive.
It's been quacking like a duck for about the last 3 months since the beginning of December.
Got it. So I now have that video saved to my hard drive. So even if they pull it off of YouTube, I'll still have it and I can put it back up. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll have to use the Evil Twins channel to put it up. Yeah, so it's he goes through and explains things really good. It's only a 5-minute video. So, hang on. Did everything go blank out there?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Every time I close down the one thing, it wants me to know if I want to upgrade it.
Hey Jerry, you missed the knife show, buddy. We all had our nice sharp knives out. We were playing with cutting paper and cutting wait, that was a different channel. I'm sorry.
Let me go ahead and pull that down. No, you got the other stuff here, so I'm going to close that. So Jerry, here we go. Let me pull this back up for you. There you go. We're talking about all sorts of nice knives, all sorts of fun ones. And so, yeah. But yeah, guys, it's
almost top of the hour.
Yeah, it's time to go. It took 2 years to do it. Yeah, T-Bar. It took 2 cycles on the Spanish flu to really do something. But yeah.
You just reminded me of an old TV show.
Who, me or?
Yeah, you. Sha-na-na. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm. Bowser. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody. Y'all have fun. You hear?
Okay. So tomorrow night, Dave's channel, Southern Ohio Prepping, and you're going to be covering.
I don't know yet.
Thought you said something about covering the. You were going to be showing. Oh, you talked about maybe showing some stuff from that laser thing.
Well, that's part of it. I'm going to try and see if I can't con you guys into buying something from me. I mean, that way I can actually put it back into the channel and bring you guys better stuff.
Yeah. And then Friday at 8:00 Mountain Time, my Friday night special is going to be what is off grid. And we're talking about.
It's happening to a lot of people. You got to dislike.
Oh, I know who did. I know who it was too.
Oh, darn it!
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was just someone who doesn't like us talking about It came
Probably.
in at the end.
Anywho.
Anywho, so yeah, so
Jerry finished making a fillet knife.
yeah. So who's making? Oh, just made another fillet knife. Cool, Jerry. So Friday night is going to be what is off grid. We're going to talk about what is and is not considered off grid, and then Saturday is shelters, where you make your bed. Talk about shelters in emergency situations.
Hey, Jay, if that's the worst off-grid problem you have, then you are doing great, my friend. A little bit of water, clean it off. Doing great.
Yeah, if the dog doesn't get it first.
No dog here, thank God. Although I do have a cat who likes to use her claws once in a while.
Yeah. All righty, guys. So we'll see you on Wednesday night on Southern Ohio Prepping. In the meantime, stay happy, stay safe, and stay prepared.
Sanitizer. Use it.